My son asked why his teacher called him Charity Case, then showed me the free lunch ticket she stapled to his homework. My 8-year-old Tyler came home Wednesday looking confused and upset. He dumped his backpack on the kitchen counter and pulled out his math worksheet with this bright yellow paper stapled right to the top corner. Mrs. Ballsy had written "Free Lunch Student" in red pen across it like some kind of warning label. Tyler looked up at me with those big brown eyes and asked, "Dad, what's a charity case?" Mrs. Ballsy said, "That's what I am because of this yellow paper." My heart dropped into my stomach. This teacher had basically announced to the entire class that my kid qualified for free lunch, humiliating him in front of everyone. I work 2 jobs to keep us afloat since his mom left 3 years ago. I'm a night shift security guard at the mall, and I stock shelves at the grocery store on weekends. We're not rich, but we get by. Tyler never complained about our tiny apartment or wearing hand-me-down clothes from his older cousin. He's such a good kid, always helps with dishes and never asks for expensive toys. I marched into that school the next morning, Tyler's homework still clutched in my hand. Mrs. Ballsy was sitting at her desk eating some fancy salad from one of those expensive meal prep containers. She barely looked up when I walked in. "Mr. Wilson, right? Tyler's dad? Is there something wrong?" she asked, like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. I showed her the homework with the yellow ticket stapled to it. "Why did you put this on his assignment and call him a charity case in front of the class?" She actually rolled her eyes at me. "Well, the students need to understand that some families require assistance. It's important for accountability." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This woman thought it was okay to shame my son for being poor. "Lady, you have no idea what accountability means," I said, keeping my voice steady even though I wanted to scream. "Tyler earns every single thing he gets, including that free lunch." She started to interrupt, but I wasn't finished. "See, what you don't know is that Tyler spends every morning before school helping Mrs. Cartier next door carry her groceries upstairs because her arthritis is bad. He rakes leaves for the elderly couple across the hall every weekend and refuses to take money for it. He shares his toys with kids at the playground who don't have any. Mrs. Ballsy's face was getting red, but I kept going. "And what you really don't know is that Tyler's been saving every penny he finds on the street in a jar under his bed. You want to know why? Because he wants to buy me a Father's Day present this year. Last count, he had $3.47. I leaned forward on her desk. "So before you label my kid a charity case, maybe you should look in the mirror, because the only person in this room taking something they don't deserve is you. You're taking a paycheck to be a teacher, but you're failing at the most basic part of the job, treating kids with respect." Then I did something that surprised even me. I pulled out my phone and called the local news station right there in front of her. "Hi, I'd like to report a story about a teacher publicly humiliating students for being on free lunch programs." Mrs. Ballsy's eyes went wide. "Wait, you can't—" But I was already giving them the school's name and her full name. The reporter said they'd be very interested in covering the story. After I hung up, Mrs. Ballsy was practically begging me to reconsider. "Mr. Wilson, I'm sure we can work this out privately. There's no need to involve the media." I just smiled and said, "Oh, I'm not done yet." I walked straight to the principal's office and filed a formal complaint. Then I posted about it on every parent Facebook group in our district. By Friday, Mrs. Ballsy was suspended pending investigation, and the school district had to send out a formal apology to all families.